Now, this season, we're seeing a number of Knicks players going through a renaissance. Particularly, I want to focus on Derrick Rose. As we've seen in the game against Memphis, he basically took Ja Morant to school. He was hitting clutch shots. He was more poised. He was more level-headed this season. As we're seeing in the second go-around with the Knicks, Derrick Rose, it's almost like he's a different person. He's more balanced. It's almost like Derrick Rose is in a sweet spot we wish we saw Allen Iverson get to in the later part of his career, where he was more content, more balanced, more understanding of his role, in which he could really be effective by helping a young team get to another level, but at the same time still making an impact. And sometimes we don't get to see something like this play out because maybe even in AI's case, maybe he didn't have the right kind of management and people around him so he can come to that understanding. Because this season we're seeing Derrick Rose with Thibs and Leon Rose versus the Derrick Rose that we've seen with Phil Jackson and his regime. Because we all know that they were stuck in their ways, particularly with the triangle, and they weren't really working with the talent that they had. Phil kind of came in on some I'm a godfather, I have all these rings, and whatever I did before, I'm gonna force it down you guys' throats. And it didn't work. Guys didn't buy in. I mean, you see Derrick Rose this season. He's in it. You see the emotion, the way he cares. It wasn't like that before. Remember when he just didn't show up to a game and he even check in with the team in 24 to 48 hours? And he even showed up the next time that we seen him with a different haircut. He had the dreads rocking before he had the fro. And then he came through with the dreads. Like, yo, y'all ain't heard from me in 24 hours, but yet I got a new hairstyle. That shit was crazy. Like, there was a major disconnect there. I mean, I kind of knew there was a disconnect already when I heard Phil Jackson talking about making Kirk Rambis the coach. And Kirk Rambis is a losing coach. I mean, that West Coast style of play just didn't fit in on the East Coast. So I don't know where the hell Phil Jackson was even going with this. But when it comes to this season, we're seeing everything come in full circle when a player has the right people around him that understand him. And it's almost like Derrick Rose is a complete different player. I know he was already coming into his maturation, but just his involvement this season, it's a lot different. And just knowing what we know about Phill, the beef he had with Porzingis, the beef he had with Melo, he was beefing with everyone. And just the way Derrick Rose left the team talking about he didn't trust Steve Mills, this is a complete turnaround. For a guy not to trust an organization, but to come back because the people there are different. And once again, it's great to see everything is just coming in full circle. D Rose caring a lot, and it shows, man. It shows in the play. You see it in the emotion in the interviews. And now we're able to understand the disconnect that happened the first time around. Because it was interesting that Walt Clyde Frazier has said during the broadcast, when Phil Jackson was there, they were trying to make Derrick Rose a three-point shooter. See, once again, there was a major disconnect with Phil being here. He just didn't understand the players, and it was clearly obvious that no one was on the same page, from the coaching to the GM to the players. And with the Knicks today, that's really not the case.